So we have now the head coach of New Zealand, Ian Foster, and captain Sam Kane. You want to say a few words first?
Yeah, delighted with the result. Delighted with the first objective of 5 points to cement a position in the quarter-final, and that's a clear goal for us. I thought Uruguay chucked a lot at us, particularly in that first 20, and very combative, made the breakdown quite hard. The set piece became a hard area for us to get to be able to use the power that we know we have, and we had to find other ways to do that. But really stoked with the way that the guys showed a lot of patience and problem solved and came through the other side and finished really, really strong. So we're delighted with that performance, and just a bit of a rinse and repeat from the last 2 games, but just a congratulations to Sam Whitelock, 150 games, special occasion for us.
First question? Yes. Tout en haut. Can you raise your hand again, please? Yes. Merci.
Hey Ian, Ollie here. Can you give us an update on Tyrell leaving early and also Fletcher coming off at the end as well?
Fletcher was largely precautionary, just on his knee. Tyrell a little bit more serious, but we don't really know how bad it is. It looks like a medial. It doesn't look too bad, but got a bucket load of ice on his knee at the moment, and we'll look at that over the next 48 hours.
Sam, just on that opening 20 minutes from a player's perspective, was it quite frustrating not to be able to get into the game the way you wanted to, and what do you put that slow start down to, do you think?
Yeah, I suppose it was a little bit frustrating. I mean, we technically had 2 tries sort of brought back before our inaccuracies at the breakdown in regards to TMO picking up some neck rolls, and then we scrambled well to stop one of their tries. Look, they came with a lot of passion early. I think a lot of... I'll sort of go into any test match against any opposition and expect that the first 20 to 30 minutes is going to be tough regardless of history. Like, just everyone can get up and bring in intensity for so long. Our challenge was to stay patient and hopefully overcome that, and luckily we stuck to our guns, and that's what happened.
Tout en haut au fond. Oui, exactement. Merci.
Mr. Foster, Mr. Kane, my name is Felipe from Rugby. After losing the first match, you keep going on the group phase, and now you are in quarterfinals. For both, is this your best version in order to reach the objective of winning the Rugby World Cup? Thanks.
Yeah, nice. I hope so. You know, I think we've responded well from the first game. I think we took lots of lessons out of that, and I think we've dealt with each challenge that we've had in the meantime, and I believe we're growing our game to a point that we're ready to go into this quarter-final really well prepared. And clearly, whatever happens, whoever we play is going to be a massive game, but that's what quarter-final should be like. So we're ready.
Hi, Chiran Preto from Reuters. Ian, just a question about your tight head prop. I mean, he got off. You said he was more serious, but how serious do you think it is? Are you confident that he can play the quarterfinals?
I'll just repeat what I said. It said he's sitting in the shed with some ice on his knee. It looks like a medial. And those that know medials, they can be a small strain or a large strain. Just really depends. We won't know probably for another 24 hours. But you know, he was moving okay afterwards, and so you know, we'll just look at him over the weekend. You know, fortunately, we've got a couple of extra days, which could be meaningful for us.
Just ici.
Ian, could you talk a little bit about Damien McKenzie's performance and how you rated that?
He's going pretty good, and we were delighted with him last week, and I thought again this week he played well. It was a game of turnover ball, wasn't it? I kind of got the feeling that Barnsley wasn't too interested in setting scrums, so the game became a lot of turnover ball and turnover defence, and quite frankly, Damien's pretty good at that sort of stuff. But I thought he played really well, and then when he went into 10, he continued that. So he's a player. He continues to be important to us, and he's really putting his hand up.
Is there any concern that 3 games in a row like this leaves you a bit short of those sort of really tight, hard test matches heading into a knockout game?
Look, it is what it is. We can't control things when it comes to the draw. People weren't saying that after the French game. They were saying that we were struggling, and even before the Italian game, that was going to be a massive challenge for us. So I think we've put ourselves under pressure to play well. I think it's a very motivated team at the moment. We know we're not perfect. We've still got some areas to grow, but we're really confident in the areas that we think we need to be ready for going into a tight game. So, there's different pathways, isn't there, to quarters, and some teams have a hard game beforehand. For us, that first 20 minutes was pretty tough, and we had to show a different sort of patience, but it is what it is, and at the end of the pool play, we're satisfied.
Alors, le monsieur au milieu qui lève la main juste là. Oui, merci beaucoup.
And just in terms of the rest of the squad, were there any other injuries? Suggestions maybe Shannon Frizzell might have picked up something?
No, they were all just tactical subs.
And you're obviously in the quarterfinals now, you get to sit back and watch others take lumps out of each other. Do you have a preference of who you're going to play?
I think you know my answer to that. No. I just don't want to put myself under any stress the next 3 days. So what will be, and people will theorise what they do, but we'll go away and have a nice little glass of wine out the side of our hotel tonight and celebrate being there, and looking forward to recovery tomorrow, and clearly we've got a plan for whoever it may be, but at this stage we're excited about us being there. That's our first goal achieved, and let's get into the next one.
Parfait, merci.
Hi, good evening. Romain Baheux of the newspaper Le Parisien. Are you confident in the fact that you can finish first of the group?
So are we confident that we can finish first in the group? Is that the question? Yes. No. No, I think we're probably making an assumption we're going to finish second, and but the Italian-France game is important now, and it'll be interesting to see how teams respond. But the great thing about the draw from many perspectives is that first or second, we kind of know that when you've got a draw, when you go into a tournament and the top 4 teams in the world currently are due to play each other in the quarterfinal, whatever happens, it's going to be a monster game. So nothing's going to surprise us now, and we'll be ready for whoever it is.
Hi, Ian. You mentioned in the lead-up to this game that, as well as the established guys, the returning injury guys, having some valuable time, that it could be a chance for some of your players to put their hands up and push for a spot in that 23 coming up. Lester Whanganuku, what did you see from him tonight, particularly with that in mind? Has he put pressure on you, given you something to think about?
Yep, no doubt about that. Played well and busy, and I haven't talked to him about how he enjoyed his time at 12, but I think he went pretty good. Different sort of game, and so he did what we asked of him, and really pleased for that. So give us plenty to think about, no doubt about that.
And Sam, just one for you. This is your first start of the World Cup. You're obviously getting back into a rhythm and everything. You know, how did you come through, and I guess how much better will you be for this performance tonight?
Yeah, I think I said a couple of days ago I was really excited about the body feeling really good and first start, and just loved getting back out there. Quite enjoyed the first 20 minutes because it was a little bit more combative. But as the game wore on, it opened up a bit. A wee bit stop-start, I suppose, because there's a few points being scored, but felt good out there, felt free. So, yeah, pretty happy.
Tout au fond maintenant, là-haut. Merci.
Ian, Elliot here, can you just talk about, I guess, the growth that you've made over the last 3 games and how that sets you up for a potential quarter-final, especially with the camp you had in Bordeaux and the weight you sort of placed on that week off?
Yep, I think pool plays, you got to obviously the first job is to get through clearly, and so we've done that. The second job is to make sure that you're spending time on the aspects of your game that are really good for the here and now, but with an eye to what's to come. And so I think we've got that balance right in terms of our preparation. I think that, you know, we've worked hard on areas of the game that we think we're going to need going into playoff rugby. And so, you know, you can argue we haven't been challenged a little bit mentally on how to finish out a close game in the last 2 or 3 games, but I think we've put ourselves under pressure in that space to really focus on our execution regardless of the scoreline. And, you know, and sometimes when we get a big scoreline, people sort of talk down our opponent, but I think we all saw that Uruguay, man, they tried, they were 100% committed for 80 minutes, and they made everything we did actually was a little bit harder than perhaps what people think. And so I'm pleased with that clinical side of the execution. Now, we know there's going to be a big step up coming next weekend, but we can only control what we control. We're prepared with the end in mind, and I think we go into next week feeling like, okay, we've done everything we need to do, and now we just need to go out there and express ourselves and give it everything.
Juste. Do you want to use the headphones for translation?
Oh, yes.
Bonsoir.
Thank you.
Je vous épargne mon très mauvais accent anglais. Une question pour tous les deux. Sam Whitelock ne cesse de battre des records. Qu'est-ce qu'il a de plus, tout simplement?
That's pretty simple. He can become the first man to win 3 World Cups.
The question was, Sam Whitelock's been breaking records. What more can he do? We've been speaking about him for almost 2 weeks within the environment, due to him breaking Richie's record last week and then bringing up 150 this week. So, he's been notching up a few achievements, and hopefully in a few weeks' time he can add another one.
So the 2 last questions now, one here, and the next one will be here with Sean.
And just wondering, it seems like 4 years down the road that you're very, with your selection, you understand that you're going to have a Richie Mwanga or whoever at 10 or a Mackenzie and Barrett at 15. How much has it helped having 4 years to kind of know that dual playmaker that you were kind of intending to use that during this campaign?
Yeah, well, it's you test matches, and when you coach this team, you expect to win every test. You're expected to win every test, so you're always trying to pick for the here and now and plan for the here and now. But I guess our role, my role, is to make sure we are looking at the future to try to figure things out. And I think that we've grown the game to the point that we know we play well when we've got a number of really key decision makers on the park. Bodie's done a great job, I think, at 15 in terms of executing our game, of influencing others and bringing a whole degree of calmness to our decision making, and his linkages with Richie and Damien, I think, is just getting better and better and better. So we're pleased, and it's a game that we want to play. And but we do know that they can only flourish if we get that platform up front, and so now we're seeing real growth in that part of our game, and that's the part we're going to need in the next as we go forward in this tournament.
And last question, please.
Hi, I'm Charles from the Daily Telegraph here. Can I just ask you about goal kicking and conversions? We had three kickers tonight, and I think Bowden took over from Damien McKenzie, but Damien was still on the field. Was there anything in that, or was it just a sort of them sharing it around?
Well, I asked Damien why he gave up the kicking tee when he kicked two really good ones, and he said, well, Aaron Smith was a water boy, and he told Damien that I'd given instructions he had to give up the kicking tee. So he was really grumpy with me, but I had him on and told him that actually I hadn't said a word to Nuggie, so he had a fight with Nuggie. But at the end of the day, I wanted Bodie to have a couple of goal kicks, just to keep him keep his eye. And Damien's kicking really well, Richie's kicking really well, and it was just a chance for Baz to have a couple, and he didn't look too bad either. But nothing sinister. Good story though.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you.